Okay, is there any objection to start? Good. Any objection to starting?
Nope.
Terry? Thumbs up? Okay. And Jen will join us when she can. The workshop meeting of the Park District of Highland Park is called to order on Wednesday, February 9, 2022 at 6:00 p.m. Pursuant to Section 7E of the Open Meetings Act, the President of the Board of Park Commissioners has made a determination that it's not practical or prudent to hold in-person meetings because of the COVID-19 public health emergency. Neither the elected officials nor the public will be allowed to attend regular or committee meetings in person, but will participate virtually. Links to the virtual meeting can be found in the Park District website. Roxanne, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Bernstein, Commissioner Freeman. Is Jen here?
She might not be. She'll join us, I'm sure.
Okay. Commissioner Kaplan,
I'm here.
Vice President Grossberg,
Here.
President Ruttenberg.
I am here and we have a quorum. Executive Director Romes, are there any additions to the agenda?
No, they're not.
Okay, thank you. All right, is there anyone from the public attending tonight's meeting?
No, there is not.
Okay, then I guess we will go down to new PDHP website and app. Director Gagola to present. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Great. Give me just a minute. I'm going to share my screen.
Okay, let me just announce that if Jen, if you're hearing us, would you please announce that your presence? I'll do that periodically until we find out.
She's here
Okay.
now.
Okay. So can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. Okay. So you might want to just minimize the gallery of speakers just because I'm going to kind of be tooling around on our new website a little bit, and it might just be easier for you to see. So I am going to give you just a quick sneak peek at our new website and new app that are going to launch this Friday. This has been a project that our entire park district, especially our marketing team, has been working on over the past 6 months. It's taking all of the content from our old site and looking at all of our user information from our old site, looking at heat maps and what pages they would go to and how they would go to different pages, you know, what path they would take, as well as getting a lot of input from our staff to develop this new site. And we also have spent the last couple of weeks testing it. We've had a couple of our foundation members who volunteered to test the site and the app, as well as some of our management. So with no further ado, I will give you a quick tour. So this is the homepage that you'll come to. We have a nice video. That video will change seasonally. If you scroll down, we have a news blog. And so all of the most recent news items that we've introduced will show here on the blog. And you'll also be able to go back and view any old posts or old news items that we have featured on our website, or we've made any announcements. All of those can be viewed just by clicking here. We also kept our quick links. That's something that we have on our existing site that I know people really enjoyed having. So we kept those here. It gives you the opportunity to register here. You also have the opportunity to register here. And you also have the opportunity to register here. It also gives people the opportunity to look at any open positions we have, anything, our board meetings, and then anything that's more timely, like spring registration or summer camp registration, and also weather cancellation and facility conditions. As you scroll further down, this information, it's a carousel, and this really would have more promotional information on it, like just reminding people, the deadline for summer camp registration, when memberships go on sale for Hidden Creek, some of our spring break programs. So these will change as new things come up that we want to promote to the public. Then this is all of our events that are coming up. You can view the full calendar by clicking here. You also have the opportunity to sign up for our Parkline, our newsletter. You can download our app. There's more information coming on that in a few minutes. And then also our park partners, which are companies that do a significant amount of sponsorship and advertising with us each year, and also Parks Foundation link. And then the footer has more information as well if you missed it from up top. So I'm going to move along now from the home page. And one of the big things that has really changed is that, as you know, we discontinued doing a print brochure. We started doing a digital brochure, which was a separate digital publication that we would put out. And what we've done now is taken it a step further, and we've actually integrated all of our new seasonal programming, membership, other information directly into our website. So it's very similar to the kind of online experience that most people have with most companies, like the Amazon experience, or where you go to a website and you don't need to go to another separate document to get information about anything that's new or anything that you want to sign up for. So this is all integrated now. This is what we call our splash page, and this is what we'll be promoting through our e-newsletters and on our social media channels. So this is about spring 2022. It gives you information as you scroll down, what's new for the season. It gives you registration dates. Over on the left side, by ages, there are different program opportunities listed here by age group. There also are, again, new things that might be happening that season, like, getting your Rosewood Beach passes and information on the early bird sale for Hidden Creek and how to get your lakefront parking decals. So all of that information is contained right here. And then as you move down, there's more information about the permanent tea times, which go on sale in the spring, dog park memberships, rental information. We also have, even though this is all on the website, we also have the opportunity to sell advertising, and Highland Park Bank and Trust has purchased advertising for this spring issue on our splash page for the season. Also give you an opportunity to register right here. And then down below are all of the events for the season. So the spring season typically starts in March, goes through April and May. So you can preview all of the events that are going on. And if you click on a specific event, it'll give you more information and give you an opportunity to register or purchase tickets. You can also view the full calendar here. So this is a really new feature. Again, it gives people more the type of online experience that they're used to when they work with other organizations. So from here, I'm going to show you a specific facility section. So if somebody wants to just go and say, hey, what's going on at Deer Creek? This gives them a wrap up of all of the Deer Creek information that they would need to know. Gives you a nice summary, hours of operation, a phone number that will dial from your mobile. Right now we have COVID-19 guidelines and face mask requirements. And then these are all of the different programming pages. As you scroll down, there's seasonal information again. Deer Creek has a little bit different schedule for registration dates. That's a little bit different than our regular schedule. Also gives holiday schedule information, membership, permanent court times, information about our outdoor tennis and pickleball courts, and then what our hourly reservation rates are, and then also rentals at the facility. So just to kind of give you an example of when I talked about an integrated brochure into the website, here's an example. So if you wanted to look and see what adult tennis programs were available, this shows you all of the different, for example, drill and play tennis, gives you all of the different sections that are available, what the times are. If you click on view, that will take you directly to even more information about that particular program, and will allow you to register. So it's all now integrated right into the website. And if there are other things that you want to look at, other programs, again, you can go to this left bar and you can pick other programs that you might be interested in by age. And then just to keep moving on, one area that I thought you might be interested in is our projects and planning page. Right now, the projects and planning page features individual tiles for each project that's in progress. So right now we have many projects that are in progress and even more coming up. As you scroll down, you can also click here, and that will take you to an archive of past projects that we've done. And then as you continue to scroll down, you have the opportunity to look at different plans, green print, our strategic plan, and various master plans that we have. And just to give you an idea of what a project page would look like, a project page would, on the left-hand side, have some information about maybe the start or end date of a project, where the project's located, what the budget is for the project. Here we have links to master plans. There's project background, FAQs, who you can contact if you want to provide some feedback on the project, some of the features of the project. This particular one also has a detailed description. And then every project that's in progress also will have a timeline of updates. So you can scroll down and get a good view of how the project has proceeded from the very, very beginning until the most recent update. And every one of the projects has a similar page associated with it that people can go to get updates on, what's happening at different areas and different projects around the district. Any questions?
I have a couple questions if I could start, if no one objects. What's under bids and RFPs?
Bids and RFPs are just that. It's all of the current bids and RFPs and then also results. So if you click on any one of this, you would get the the detailed document for a bid or for an RFP.
Because it's all public information, and so what we're doing is just making it more accessible to the public.
Right, exactly.
Okay. My other thing is, if I'm coming onto the site and I want to find the name of the manager of Deer Creek, what is the easy way to do it? Do we have like a staff point position here or something? Is that under contact, or where would I find the manager of Deer Creek without clicking 5 times?
Well, if you want to go directly to Deer Creek, you can click right here and go to the very bottom. And there are all of their titles and information.
Okay. If I were to have any comment about that, I'd like to have my contact information and who the people are almost right up at the front on top of the Deer Creek. But that's just for me. I'm just saying I'm not one who wants to go searching around for things. So you might want to consider that. And the other thing is, on the home page or whatever you call it, the landing site, I'd like to have our telephone number prominently displayed so that if somebody comes to the page, they can see our number right off the bat and not have to look for it.
We can do that.
Other than that, and then I'd like to get the criticism out of the way, or comments. I think this is great. I think it's, it's got so much information that I know I'll never use it, so I will call Director Romes directly, so. But I think it's great. I think we're giving so much information that that people have to learn to navigate it, but I think we're all learning how to navigate on a daily basis. So I think it's got a good wow effect to it.
Right. The other thing I wanted to point out too, that any emergency information, we have the ability to put those bars up on top here. And of course, we also reach out with email and on social media regarding, any emergency information or any special announcement. And you have the opportunity to click here to get more information. This is just really a headline.
Yeah. Oh, well, let me go back to my question. I'm sorry, maybe I didn't make. Okay, so I go to this page and where do I, with one click, get a staff directory?
Well, you would you can go here. There's several ways, and then go to here to a staff directory. Hang on, I apologize. This is going slowly now.
No, that's okay. That's
this
okay.
is still a development site, but these are all of the board members and then all of the staff by department.
So it's listed under government?
It's listed under government, and it also is on our footer as well. The staff directory is here, and we certainly could also add it to our quick links.
Okay, all I'm trying to say is to make it as easy for the public, if they want to call, they should have an easy way of finding who the people are, finding the telephone number for the park district that can then guide them, and versus searching around, making 5 clicks to get to something and scrolling down. That's my complaint about Amazon as well. You have to scroll down to get to what you want. But okay, those are good. I really like it. Thank you. Terry?
Well, if we make the phone, it is impossible to find phone numbers on websites anymore, but it's mostly because they don't want to pay people to man phones. So do we want our phone number more prominent? Do we have people there to answer the call?
Yes, we do.
We do.
Okay. So I
Yeah.
just want to make sure we're not, making some poor lady one ringy dingy and plugging in all the wires and I'm
I love it.
aging myself.
Yes, I love that, Terry.
Yes.
Rosanna Dana will do it. Yeah.
So I do love when you showed us that one spot where you clicked on a program and the ability to register for that program popped up. That was impressive to me because that's the biggest issue I have with the website is just how unwieldy it was to try to register for a program. So can you go back to that spot where any spot, it doesn't have to be that spot, where you're about to register for a program?
Right here.
Okay, so can we pretend like we are about to register for a program and just follow through this? Because I want to see if it is as user-friendly as I hope it will be, okay?
So it takes you to, and this is unavailable now because we have not
Right.
started registration for spring, but it takes you directly to that class in RecTrack that you can, under normal circumstances, starting on February 16th, when registration begins, this will become available and you'll be able to select this item.
Okay. After selecting that item, and I don't know if it's possible, I guess this is not live yet.
No.
Right, okay. So Rec Track is still our provider for
It is,
this.
it is still
So-
our provider.
It's still going to be Rec Trackian when
It
we,
will- It will still be rec tracking.
That was good. Like that.
okay. I'm hoping that someday somebody will join the Rec Trackian crew and make it even better than it is, because it still has, it's not Amazon. I'll
No,
tell you
it
that.
is not. You know, our ability is to make changes to the front end of the website. So getting you to Rec Track, we can make that piece easier. But making the whole Rec Track part easier is, you know, is not something we have a lot of control over.
Yeah, is it sort of like a monopoly? Like, are they just the people that do this?
No, there's, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say there are very few, you know, companies out there that provide this type of registration system, and they all are very complex.
Hmm.
I think it's an industry issue that, you know, everyone has issues with, that there's just not a lot of options available. And I think Rec Track is probably, you know, the best of all of them.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, no, but when you went to the very first page and we looked at that beautiful picture and having live action of people and beautiful kids and people out in nature, it's great. You know, it's great. So, did you, yeah, like, I know that place exactly, right? So, my last question is about the volunteers from like the foundation and stuff that went through it. Did they have comments? Did those comments get incorporated into the final version?
Yeah, you know, you know, their overall comment was, it's such a nice reflection of the community. It's engaging, it's active, it's, you know, they felt a sense of pride about it. You know, there were a couple of little things. We were really having them look at things like, you know, does this navigation of this make sense? And does that make sense? So they were really looking at it more as kind of like tooling around and making sure that links were linked and things made sense and navigation made sense. But we really didn't have any, you know, anything from a functional standpoint that they had any issues with. They felt like it was cool and fresh and easy to navigate.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Anything else?
Brian,
No questions.
Jen,
Very nice job. Very cool, Liz.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Kudos.
same thing. I think it looks great. I love it.
great. Thank
Great.
you. Thank you.
There's one last little
Oh.
piece of this that I want to show you real quick, and this
Oh.
is our park shop. This is proceeds from this will go to the Parks Foundation, and this is some fun swag that people can purchase online. It's through a third-party vendor, and we think it's going to be. I think people are going to love it. You know, again, the Parks Foundation, they loved it. They wanted to start buying some of these items, but as I scroll down, these are just some of the options that are available. We can add more merchandise to this if we want to, but this has become something that a lot of park districts are doing, and we're really proud of it. I think it's just a fun way to promote our facilities, and I think, you know, the community is proud that, you know, they're a member at Deer Creek, or they love Rosewood Beach, or they love Heller. And so this would be a fun thing for people to purchase for themselves or to give as gifts. So this is another addition to the site that we thought was just a really fun, you know, brand builder and something great for our Parks Foundation.
Would you consider stocking some of the t-shirts at Deer Creek, for example?
You know, that's one of the nice things about this is we don't have to purchase inventory. We could if we wanted to, but we don't have to hold any inventory because there's so many different sizes and color schemes. And when people go online to this, they purchase it, and it's printed on demand. So but the stuff comes in really quickly. Like we ordered one of the beach towels for Rosewood, and it came in a week.
Oh, cool. Is it made in America?
Yes, I believe this. It's a company that's here in America. Yeah.
I wonder if we should say that.
We could.
Well, I'm just putting that out there for people to consider.
Sure.
Okay, anybody else with any comments? If not, thank you, Liz. And then I think we'll go, back to Liz. Approval
Yeah.
of policy 713, website privacy policy.
So I did just want to mention too, real quick, that our app is live on the Apple Store, and it's also live on the Google Store. So if you'd like to go and search in the Apple Store or Google, Park District of Highland Park, you can click on our new app, and it has lots of fun features. When we launch the new website and app on Friday, there's going to be a video that will give you all of the nuts and bolts of all the features and how they work on the new app. So I think this is going to be a really great tool for people. You can download all of your passes, so you have virtual passes, so you don't have to carry them around with you. You can register online, you can look at sports schedules, you can get push notifications. So it's really going to be a great new technology tool for everyone.
Well,
Do you want any feedback on it as we go? Or are you like, this is locked in? If you have criticisms, please keep them to yourselves for a little while.
No, absolutely. The nice thing about technology is it's, you can update it and change it. I mean, if it was like a major change, that might be a little bit difficult if we wanted to completely formulate it, but definitely there are opportunities to make tweaks to it, and we expect that we'll be doing that.
Hey,
I just
Liz,
downloaded it. Looks great.
but wait a minute, did you say that you can put in your passes, for example, for the rec center, for Hidden
Yes.
Creek?
So you can put in multiple passes for yourself, for your spouse, for your family, and it's all right on your phone.
So we don't need the little scanny thing anymore.
No.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so we should ask Dan to load that into all of our phones so that we're safe.
Do families all
You could
log in
actually
on
do
their
it on your own.
devices? As, like not everyone has an account. I have the account, but my family members are on my account. So do we all load the same one and log in as me?
So if you have
Good
a
question.
pass, so give me an example of what that would be like.
My 13-year-old goes to the beach without me, but we're all on a family beach pass.
They'll have to have it on their phone, or we'll still have the physical passes, but
Right.
your son or your kids can put it on their phone, or you can put all theirs on your phone if you're with them.
Right.
Either way, but it's just like.
But like
having
I had one toggle for Hidden Creek last year. So either I had to give it to the kid that was going, or eventually they just knew us and were like, hey, it's those annoying Freemans again who all go separately to the aqua park. We don't go everywhere together. So just wondering, do we all log in on 5 devices as me and we're swiping away?
You can take your pass and on your
I could just take a
daughter's
photo
phone,
and just give it to her.
or she can also take a scan
Yeah,
of it
okay.
on her phone and then show it on her phone.
We'll give you a
Okay.
little private tutorial.
Yes, thank you. I need to be walked through the app. This is awesome though. Looks great.
Great, thank you. Okay, so now, privacy policy.
Yes. So website privacy policies are not mandated in Illinois. However, there are website privacy policies now that are required in the state of California, and Europe also requires them. So what has happened is we work with a lot of companies that are international. So for example, all of our analytic information for our website, we get from Google. We do a lot of social media advertising with Facebook. Our On The Go Fitness website, that's the on-demand videos, that is hosted by another company, another website company. And all of these companies are now coming to all of the people that they do business with, and they are requiring them to have a website privacy policy. So in order for us to continue to do business and do social media advertising and get analytics on our website, we need to have a website privacy policy. And basically, I'm not going to read the policy to you, but basically what it says is it informs customers on what type of data our organization collects, what we're doing with that data. And this is via our website. It also provides information on how customer data is collected, if it's through a form or cookies on our website. So it's really just informing them how we collect the data, and also demonstrates our commitment to, to the privacy of the personal information that's provided by people who visit or interact with our site. So that's kind of the nuts and bolts of it. So our recommendation is that the park board approve policy 7.13 website privacy policy. So if you have any questions.
Let's see, are there any questions? Terry,
No.
Brian,
No.
Jen?
Nope.
All right. So is there a motion to approve policy 7.13 website privacy policy?
So moved. Second.
Second.
All right. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing
No.
none. Roxanne, please call the roll.
Commissioner Freeman,
Yes.
Commissioner Kaplan,
Yes.
Vice President Grossberg,
Yes.
President Ruttenberg.
Yes, the motion carries. Thank you. And moving right along, I see that Mr. Ryan is very eager to present. So we will have the 2021 season ending report for golf course and golf learning center, Manager Oaks and Manager Saunders to present. Take it, guys. You're on mute. There you go.
All right, I'm gonna share my screen real quick. Everybody see this?
Not yet. Now we do.
Perfect. All right. So first off, I just want to mention, I want to give incredible thank yous to Cole Sanger and Rob Saunders, Eileen Orth, Steve Hammaker, Harry Pearson, our entire golf operations team and entire golf maintenance team. They were incredible this past year, and I can't thank them enough for all they did. So with that said, we'll go through the Highland Park Golf Learning Center first. So first, I believe you guys were shared this presentation earlier in the board packet, but this first slide just shows the utilization for the driving range and mini golf for the year 2021. Mini golf doesn't open till April. That's open April through October. The numbers in January, February, March, and then November, December are in the dome. So we run golf operations in the dome Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So that is the utilization there. And then once we start outside in April, and that outdoor range use is April through October. That is that utilization summary slide. Again, our biggest months are June, July, and August. Keep going here. Our full day golf academy, Rob does a phenomenal job running this. We had budgeted 20 participants. We got 28 this year, which is fantastic. And then our PGA half day camps, we had budgeted 36. And then got 68. So that was incredible. Golf programs, we're not as quite as what we had budgeted. We had budgeted 244 participants, and we got 195. And then private lessons were again great. We had budgeted 170 private lessons, and then we got 294. Overall, with the budget for 2021, we had budgeted to really have just an operational surplus of like $3,000. We ended up with an operational surplus at the end of projected at the end of December with just under 100,000. That does not include operational capital and any other expenses like that. So overall, it was a great year. We did really, really well up there, and we're looking forward to 2022 and to keep expanding programs and lessons and just general use of how we utilize that site. And then to keep going with Sunset Valley. Sunset Valley in 2020, just to kind of preference, we were closed in April, and then in May of 2020, we just did twosomes only every 15 minutes. In 2021, we were able to open, be fully opened in April and May. So that kind of helped our numbers out quite more so throughout there. And when we budget, we are very conservative with our budget numbers. We just budget around 30,000, 31,000 rounds per year because we just never know what the weather is going to be like. This year, the weather was fantastic. I do not think we had a washed out weekend at all. And our numbers reflected that. Even with more things open this year, we still were able to maintain high rounds usage throughout the summer months. So to go over, we had budgeted in 2021, 31,110 rounds. We ended up with 39,820. And then when we build our budget, we always build our budget off of dollar per round. So as people utilize our site, utilize our facility, we always budget, a certain dollar amount per round. And we had budgeted $36.13 per round. And then we actually came in quite higher than that. We actually came in at $44.87 per round. So as you look at our final numbers through the end of December, and this is projected, in our budget, we had budgeted 1.5 million as a revenue for Sunset, and then we actually came in at 2.3 million. Our expenses were budgeted at 1.288 million, and then they came in a little bit higher at 1.343 million. This is primarily due to cost of goods sold and credit card processing fees. Just the more people that were here, we had to buy more things to sell, and more transactions were run through the credit card processing fees. But overall, we had budgeted for about a $200,000 surplus, $250,000 surplus, and then we ended up with a $985,000 surplus. Any questions?
Terry?
Awesome. I think I spent $900,000 of those dollars. So you're welcome.
We appreciate it.
No, it's just a great spot and hangout spot, even if you don't know how to touch a golf club. With the new junior area that was always had people there until sundown, working on their game, working on their chipping and putting. It's just a great environment you guys have built over there. I do have a question about the budget. So how does the numbers that you see coming in now, how does that affect your logic for building a budget for next year? Now, I understand that I forgot what they're calling sportsmen's now, but Heritage Oaks or whatever like that, how would that affect us? How will us coming out of some COVID mitigations affect us? So what are you thinking about for next next?
So that's a great question. So we always budget very conservatively. So even in 2022, we budget for 30,000 rounds. And that's how we base everything off, because you never know what the weather is going to be like. And you don't want to over budget and then not basically, you never want to try to think you're going to get 39,000 rounds every year, because you just never know if you're going to have that perfect weather. So we always budget more conservatively at 30,000 rounds. One thing I can tell you with Sportsman's or Heritage Oaks opening now, we were able to retain 6 of the 9 permanent tee times that came from Heritage Oaks prior to their renovation. So 6 of those groups are staying with us of the 9 that came over. And then we were able to pick up, I believe, 5 more permanent tee times. So or 6 more permanent tee times, excuse me. So we have more permanent tee times going into 2022 than we had in actually 2021. So we're starting off the year in a great spot.
Great. And then one other budget question had to do with the, if you could go back just a little bit, it was about the amount spent per customer.
Sure.
So what do you owe that gap there to? And will you budget closer to the 44 this year, given the strategies maybe you learned last year?
Again, I think we've actually always budget more conservatively to that lower dollar amount, because we never want to think like our expenses are going to, that our revenue is always going to be exceeding that. You just never know how many non-residents you're going to get compared to residents. I mean, you can always ballpark it, but we always just go off that dollar per round figure, that average that we're getting that's coming in. We're not raising the rates in 2022. We're keeping the rates the same as they were in 2021. So I think we budgeted for about $38 per round, I believe, and 30,000 rounds in 2022.
Okay. I just wonder, as a non-businessman kind of person, what is the goal? I guess this is kind of a Brian Rome's question, but what is the goal when you're creating a budget? Like, are there points for getting it right on? Are there points for coming under so that, at the end of the year, you could say, look, we were way over budget, or way under budget, however, depending on expense and income. So is there some sort of magic number where you go, oh, we thought it'd be 30, it turned out to be 39, but then next year we say 36. What if it comes at 36? Is that bad? I just want to know, philosophically, is it
So
bad?
I mean, in my personal opinion, as long as we're, as we're building the budget, and this could be Mary Lynn questions, as long as we're hitting our numbers, our monthly numbers, I think that's a good thing from what we built.
Right. And I would just say, so Commissioner Grossberg, when we put together the budget district-wide, we always tell staff that we want to be conservative. We do not want to over budget revenue or under budget expenses. We never want to be shocked at the end of the year or come in with less of a surplus at year end, because we know that we use that surplus to fund our capital items. And so if that bottom number doesn't come in where we anticipated to be or greater, then we have to readdress our capital plan. So I think Brian described pretty well how we go about budgeting across the board at the district.
So I'm sorry, I keep wanting to just kind of push it because this is all good news. So, like I do with my students, when I start getting really picky with them, it means they're doing most of the big stuff right? So let's see where we can go from 98% to 99% or whatever like that. So if a budget comes in, let's say, things by next summer are looking like they used to, 2019. Yet we are still under budget by $1 million. Like we are just off with it, but into the plus. Is there a negative to that at all? I guess is what I'm saying. Is there?
I don't think that there is. I think the negative would be is if we came in with $1 million less surplus than we told you we were going to, then I think we have a problem.
Okay, so under every circumstance, even if we let's say there's 30, we budget for 30,000 rounds and 40,000 people come through. Okay, I mean, obviously that's a good problem, but does that mean that money or something like that is not going somewhere else? Just talk to me like a fifth grader. Is there some logic to trying to get it closer to what it actually turns out to be, or is it always benefit to have even a large gap between your expectations and reality?
But don't forget, everybody, don't forget that we use the budget numbers to determine what we're going to ask for in the real estate taxes that we collect to support the district. And
Yeah.
that has to be, and because of that, the budget numbers that the staff provides to us in creating the budget, which translates into our tax base, has to be close, or we're going to get into deficit spending.
And the only other difference that I want to add context to is that these seasonal outdoor facilities are much more volatile and much more unpredictable, so which is why we're more conservative. When you look at our indoor facilities, we're pretty much usually right on. We're really close. Like athletics, even though athletics is outside, it's not a per user fee. If you're signed up for baseball, you're signed up for baseball. If you get rained out, we reschedule it. But the water park and the golf, those two in particular, we've got burnt really bad in the past with trying to be realistic as we could, and then you have a horrible weather year, and it really affects your bottom line at the end of the year. And then so we've become much more conservative, but yet these are still budgeting higher and closer. I mean, we used to run in a deficit, so we don't want to over predict. But Terry, we're much closer on our indoor facilities.
Okay, that makes sense to me. I mean, I understand that. Okay.
And sometimes we do lose. We are below on our indoor, and we hope it all balances out. Some are up, some are down, but
Right.
It helps to be a little conservative.
Yeah, I just know that as a board member, if I'm looking at that and we have like 2 hurricanes and a 10-year flood, and you come to me and say, yeah, we're under budget by $200,000, that's because we lost 7 weeks out of our summer. I don't think there's a board member, at least I can speak for myself, I know that I wouldn't blame you for that. So I'm certainly not being critical. I'm really just looking for information because I'm not knowledgeable about this sort of thing. So I don't want you to think that I'm
No.
being hypercritical. Okay.
And the other caveat is that, we've had 3 record years in a row at Sunset Valley, coming off of a long history, maybe 10 years or so where we lost money, right? We lost $200,000 a year. So, we're hoping this is obviously planning, and, we have a great team and that it's sustainable for the long haul, but again, still trying to be conservative and not be too aggressive. So I think we're getting, the gap is closing though, every year, but the past 2 years have just been amazing. Part of that is the staff. Obviously a tremendous part is the staff. The other part is the weather and, just the attraction to outdoor golf and outdoor activities. So.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, Brian Kaplan.
No questions. Brian, you and your guys did a great job again this year. Thank you.
Okay, Jen.
I do love Sunset Valley. So thank you for the presentation. And I sort of, for me, I think about the budgeting a little bit differently in my work life, right? I'm in a sales organization, so they try to pin you down to like the penny, right? Like, what's this year going to be? And you do get bonus points for kind of nailing it or getting close to it. I still think like capital project wise, we have unfunded projects hanging out there. So if we come up in the green at the end of the year, it goes into the general fund, we can distribute it and sort of look at the 5-year plan, move it around. So it comes out in the wash. And then as we talked about on one of our last meetings, just because we're ahead in payroll doesn't make it a good thing. So there's just definitely places where we figure out what to do with the money. So I appreciate the report, and I love seeing how much people are using it. And as someone who hasn't picked up sticks in a long time until last year, I love going there. So thank you.
Great. I think it's a great report. I'm, looking forward to another great year. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Review of vouchers. Director Peters to present this one.
Okay, good evening. So in your board packet was the voucher pack, which was about $550,000 this time around. And really the amounts were many, but not such great amounts. Really the largest thing that went through was the monthly health insurance for about $150,000, and everything else was much smaller by comparison and not very remarkable. So unless anyone has any questions, that's all I have to report.
I do have a question about health insurance, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
Did we see a significant increase for 2022?
I do not believe so. I think the PPO stayed, or I'm sorry, the HMO stayed the same. Well, we don't have an HR director on the call.
It did not go up.
It didn't. Okay, yeah, I didn't think.
It did not go
Okay.
up.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just, there was always a concern.
And we changed providers as well, still through Paderma, but they changed providers. And so there was able to keep it at the same rate.
Oh, interesting. So strange world. Any questions? Terry,
No.
Brian,
No,
Jen?
And for me.
Well, thank you for that simple report.
You're welcome.
All right. Executive Director Rooms, is there any other business from staff or the board?
No business to report on additionally this evening.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is there anyone from the public who wishes to address the board?
There is nobody from the public in attendance this evening.
All right, well, we will, unless any of the commissioners requests a closed session, raise your hand. If not, Brian, did you raise your hand?
I was
I
kidding.
want a closed session.
Just kidding.
You weren't listening.
I'll say it again. If
Oh, I
any,
thought you said it's a time to go.
let me ask the question again. Is there a
I'll listen
request
this
from
time.
any commissioner to have a closed session? Hearing none. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I so move.
I'm glad Brian Kaplan is awake. Good, thank you. So we stand adjourned at 6:53 p.m. Thank you, everybody.
Everybody